All right. Welcome back to the drawing board, the number one podcast in the world. Thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. I'm your new co-host because Muhammad got fired. He's too shit. But no, I'm the
Yeah, we,
guy.
we actually have a special appearance from Logan Paul. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. No,
Thank
but for Amber, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Tell me about yourself. Yeah. What's up, guys? Name's Amr. Amr the Hammer. And yeah, I'm Christian Muhammad's friend.
Dude, we, we,
Amr,
we used to troll this guy because every time he would in first year when he would introduce himself, he would say it's like, "Yo, my name's Amber." It's like Hammer without the H. It's like, dude, we would laugh so hard because like it was like a voice line built in to him.
Amr. Okay, so a quick people don't know anything about you yet. So here's a good icebreaker question for you.
Sure.
Um, what is one thing that you learned in like the past year that you kind of like changed your mind on?
What is one thing I learned in the past year that I changed my mind on? So like I had an initial perspective on it and I changed.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, it's not that I had an initial perspective of it, but I was just kind of ignorant to the fact that I feel like when you go to university, you start to realize that the problems you have as a kid, like you always for example, like whenever you had a problem as a kid, like you'd always go to your parents and whatnot and be like, oh, I have this problem, and then they'd just always have like a solution for you, right? But then when I got a little bit older and when I got to university, I started to realize that my parents have these same problems in a way, but they don't have that direct person to go to, because when we're kids we always think our parents have all the solutions, but you kind of learn to realize they're kind of just like us in a way.
yeah. I agree,
I don't know.
but they're still
See, like,
goats. Like all of our parents are immigrants, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I was talking with my dad about this.
Fobs.
Like if you look at our lives and look at their lives, like we're actually useless. Like think of the biggest risk that they took. It was like uprooting their entire livelihoods and moving to like halfway across the world to a new country. And like Mac, if I was to ask you, like, what is the biggest risk that you've taken in your life? Like,
like going to Vancouver, I guess. So it wasn't
yeah,
even a risk. It was like I wanted to do it, and it was like
yeah,
I had to
like
convince them. But it's just like if you look at it from like a perspective, like the biggest change I ever occurred in my life, probably going to Vancouver. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But that's still pretty risk averse. Like, it's a good
yeah,
thing that you went to Vancouver.
yeah,
Like, I was asking my dad. He's like, my dad's like, yeah, like you know, like going to Waterloo is like such a big risk for you. And I was like, bro, like, yeah, that's the opposite of a risk. Like,
yeah,
everything is literally like set up for me as soon as I entered.
yeah.
It's like one thing I've been
Because
thinking
like
about.
it's like hard to even have it in perspective. Like for our parents, like they literally left everything and like they came to a
Yeah,
country where like I mean they were like okay at the language, they were like passable at it. They didn't know if they would have a job here. I'm not sure about like all your parents, but like for my parents at least, my dad
yeah,
like he like came here and like he didn't have a job in like his field of study. Like he had to like just work like odd jobs for the longest time and like try to like he had to come go to uni. Well, it wasn't uni, but it was like it's called SAIT in Calgary and like do that again. And then he eventually got a job in oil sands. But it's like there's so much like they had to leave behind.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't for some reason the way my dad describes it, it seems so nonchalant for him. He's like, yeah, I always wanted to go to Canada. So when he came to Canada when he was 28, I think. Like he came when he's kind of young. He's like, yeah, I was always the smartest guy. So I was able to get I
Casual.
was able to get someone to help me research in my in when I was doing my PhD. So he just pulled up to Edmonton, and then yeah, my wife just moved the next year, and then yeah, that was it. It seems so nonchalant from my dad, because my
Wait, Amber,
dad,
did your parents meet in Egypt?
yeah, my parents met in Egypt. They got married in Egypt, and then yeah, and then they moved to Edmonton, and then a year and a half later, 2 years later, I think, because they moved in 2001. I was born.
Oh, damn! Like, I wish everything happened except for the you being born part.
Damn, yeah, it's
Facts.
crazy. You know, my dad. I always think about this because my dad was gonna go to this university, this tiny ass city in Ontario called Windsor. He was gonna go to a university called University of Windsor there. And I always think about maybe if he chose to go there, I wouldn't have been born. Maybe the chain of events would have been completely different.
Well, like he would have probably had a kid still.
Yeah, maybe a kid, but maybe just not me, bro.
What?
wasn't
But
even you. It wasn't you. You're the younger sibling. You're born in Edmonton.
no, that's what I mean.
Oh,
Like
you mean like?
that's
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean. Cause like he already had my sister at the time. But yeah,
yeah. Oh shit! Your sister was born in Egypt. I forgot. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. We actually talk about that like pretty often. Like me and Amber, like we'll be set like not me specifically, but like Amber will bring it up like because like I think you also mentioned like he was thinking of moving to like somewhere in the U.S. And it was like between that and Edmonton, and your mom was like, oh, let's do Edmonton. Like it was just like that, and then like you ended up moving to Edmonton. So like
That's
that
actually
like
crazy.
tiny decision ended up like changing the course of events for like literally all of us. Like we wouldn't be sat here
It
today.
was a complete spread. Like my dad, like first of all, this is at the time like the internet was like a brand new thing. Like there was no like there was not like a lot of available information online. Like my parents were not accustomed to using it. Like obviously like my dad literally just asked my mother and like taken my dad like doesn't even know like at the time like where any of this is located on a map. Like he doesn't know what Canada looks like or like where these things are located on a map. But he just asked me, I'm like, yeah, like there's this option in this city called Edmonton, and there's like Windsor. Like he was choosing between those two, and like Michigan was like the backup. But like he was like, and she's like, yeah, let's just do Edmonton. I have a good feeling about it, and it was yeah,
That was crazy.
You know, I strive for that level of like spontaneity. Just be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to Edmonton.
Yeah.
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 No, but to go back to your point, Amber, about how like it wasn't as difficult. Like I think like specifically for like my parents, like it was very difficult because of the fact that like my grandpa was like they were like not well off like at all. Like they had just moved from like the village to like the big city, like the whole like urbanization, immigrant type, not immigrant, but like moving within your own country to try and like find a better life for yourself in a big city. That entire trope, and like he's like I had like a very small like vegetable and like fruit like shop type thing, and like that was like to use that to support like my dad and his four siblings. Is it four? Yeah, his four siblings. So like for my dad to leave and like kind of just leave everything behind, and like there's a potential of like it not working out, was like it not only like risked his own livelihood and his own future, but like the future of his like his siblings as well. Because my grandpa ended up passing away like my dad was quite young and like essentially became like the man of the house, like provider type role. When he was like mid to late 20s.
Was there
So yeah,
pushback from? Do you know if there was like pushback from your dad's like family? Like when he said like I want to go, they were like, no, 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 don't go.
not. I mean, they were like more just ready to support whatever decision he made. Like my mom was pushing for it quite a bit because like in her head like obviously like we were like doing well enough in Pakistan. Like my dad had like a decent job, but like there's always like the limit economically of how far you can go when you're in like a developing country. So like for and also like with education for us, like she was saying like she wants to go to a country where like the kids will have like good opportunities for education regardless of how we're doing like financially, because like in Pakistan like even now like unless you're like very rich like like the chance of you going to like a private school or a school that has like a high quality education is like low. You know what I mean?
I see.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they were more just ready to like support whatever decision he made, but like it was more like my dad kind of like internally contemplating like if he wanted to leave all his friends and like his stable job behind to like make the risk of going there, probably having to work like some like odd jobs for like some for quite a long time until like he's able to find something in his industry. But hey, it ends up working out. So W.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, do your parents want to move back? Like my parents, like after all this, like after all this struggle, after like they made it,
Mhm.
their goal is to end up like moving back at some point, which is like really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think wait, I'm going to go ahead first because I think I remember us talking about this and like you mentioned
Yeah,
like something similar.
I'm pretty sure my parents definitely trying to move back. Like definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think like my
Insane.
dad like would want to move back, and like my mom would like she want to go visit like her like siblings and whatever, but she wouldn't want to live in Pakistan. 'Cause I feel like she's like too close to us to like just move away, and like because obviously like, we're not gonna be moving back to Pakistan,
Right.
right? Yeah, I think she'd want to stay probably like in Calgary or something like that.
Wait,
My
wait.
mom's been saying she wants to move to Cali too, because I'm here like a lot, and then my brother lives here as well. And so like me and my brother constantly tell my mom like, "Yeah, like don't come, please."
Calgary
Huh? Huh?
to where
No,
did you say?
To California.
Oh, California. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a hawk.
Damn. Hey,
Um,
speaking of California, if you want to go into that, like you've been doing your annual tour of the United States, starting in New York, Boston, and now in SF again. How's that been?
um, yeah, it's been really good. I think so. A lot of things I do is like I tour the universities at these places, and so I felt like I put this in my vlog for those of you that don't know. Aside from the podcast, me being a content creator that I am, I also create vlogs on Snapchat for the squad.
Shameless
Um,
plug.
yeah, Chacoman7439. If you guys want to add me up on
Yo,
Snapchat.
speaking of vlog
Okay.
wars, I'm not gonna lie, yo, Vancouver group is like kind of in the lead right now. Like
No way.
there was a yes, like you've been pulling it back, but like the consistency from the Vancouver group is
Yeah.
admirable.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Consistency.
Like they've been out there, they've been pumping out blogs. You know, Michael's putting in work. I don't know the names of the other dudes, but they seem chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Christians
The
are
problem is it's a 4v1.
Christians are like higher quality, but like Heat is like more like consistency over quality for sure.
Hey,
Really?
listen,
Oh, okay.
if
100%,
if
dude.
if you keep up with it though, like you can pull ahead because I think the like you're doing like more cool stuff.
Imagine, but
I think I'm doing more cool stuff. I'm doing a bad job of like conveying like the coolness over vlogs. Like what I was thinking. Okay, so one thing about Snapchat that's really interesting that I need to think more about is like regular vlogs on YouTube. Like you post them on a time frame of like maybe once a week, right? Like,
Hmm.
and so the idea is like if someone starts the vlog, they'll finish the whole vlog. But in Snapchat, that's not the case, right? Like people on Snapchat like multiple times a day, and if you post multiple times a day, it's possible that like they'll see your like vlogs one at a time, so they don't have to be continuous. And like you can use images and stuff in this way too. So like I think integrating like the fact that Snapchat is like a time series based vlog can be game changing. I just need to think about the right way to do it.
I think like just like from drawing on like what other like Snapchat creators like I like watch Mike Malak or like Jeff Wittick's like posts on
Mm,
Snap and like they'll like use like pictures to fill in like context gaps and then use like the video portions to kind of just like elaborate on stuff or like kind of like have more like
interesting.
in-depth like sections because like obviously like it's difficult to just like pull out your phone and like start snapping because like you have to capture the moment, right? And with a picture you know like you'll get the capture, it might not be like as in-depth as you would get with a video, but at least the context and the image itself is there, so you can talk about it later on, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So like integrating.
I actually don't like that style though, low key. Like I feel like it's kind of like weird. Like I like, and I've noticed too. Like a lot of like prominent influencers, they're like a lot of them are transitioning to Snapchat way more because partially because it's just way more convenient. Like it's just easier to just quickly send something on your phone rather than going through this whole like editing process and just like filming and then transferring like footage and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like wait, Chris, going back to your point, I feel like creating content on like YouTube, like if you look at a lot of like early influencers, like you'll notice that a lot of their earlier content is like not that high quality. Like a lot of them
Yeah, I agree.
were a lot of them were not that concerned. And I feel like a lot of fan bases originally like are not that concerned about quality. Like that comes with time, you know?
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah, actually, like the key is storytelling. The problem, okay, so the problem, like again for the podcast watchers, like I'm doing a vlog wars with Heath. We'll probably make it on the podcast at some point. He's in Vancouver right now with like three of our friends, and I'm here alone in SF. Um, and so like the other problem is like a story has characters, and you like in these stories you like see these characters over again. And so the problem is that Heath has four characters like built in at every point of the story, and I have zero characters. Like I have me, like I am the character, and I'm like Loki, like doing a shit job. And so either I need to figure out
I
how to
think you
tell.
did a good job with that one guy from what's his name when you were in Boston. What's the school called? Stanford. Like that one guy. Was it named Will or something like that?
Oh, Will?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think you did a good job with Will.
yeah. But Will moved away. Will is like in like Will's like an hour away now. Or else,
Do you not
Right.
have
but he might be like
where are your roommates?
I do like they're kind of older.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you know what that's code for, Mohammed? They're kind of boring, bro.
No, they're dude, they're really vibey. I'm gonna lie. Like they outfitted the house with like super like a lot of speakers and stuff. But like they're just like into crypto. Like I don't understand how to talk to crypto people.
Oh,
Um
they
Okay,
that kind of thing.
how'd you even
I think
find
they're
them? Was it just like through Twitter or like?
yeah, but I think they're super cool. Like I think it's also a problem like I need to work on. But like recently I've been like so obsessed with like the things that I'm working on that like all I can think about is what I'm working on. If I like meet other people, like all I can think about is like, oh, like what are they working on? Like how can I learn from this? And like I think it's like made my personality pretty shallow. Um, I think it's like the
California's
classic
getting to
SF
him.
like
He's been
problem.
there for a week. He's already a California mindset. Crazy.
Dude, Chris is gonna turn to Iman Gatsby, bro. Like
So how much is your crypto project worth? Oh, like 12 ETH? I don't know if we can
right
associate.
now, we are in a recession. If you can't make money in 2023, you are not a man.
You know who Eman Gadzi is, Krish? You're not into
No,
the.
this was really
I
funny.
think it's better that way.
Invest in
Yeah. Okay.
what?
Anyways, but
Wait, so
about
like you'll just pull up to like universities in like
yeah,
California and like Boston and just like go say what's up to people you've met on Twitter and just kind of explore the city.
yeah. Like Twitter's pretty OP for this.
Wait. Can we dive
But
into
I
this?
guess like I met
Can
like
we dive
my
into this?
closest friends in Stanford. Like I met at like a random event, and then we just like got closer over time. Um,
No, but
but okay,
I
so
need to know this. I need to know this. Krish, cause
mhm,
I replied to one of his stories, Muhammad. Like, do you remember like that one story where it was like his friends like eating like a lemon and they had these pills where like it turned all sour
Yeah,
things sweet. And
yeah,
I thought that was
yeah,
yeah,
sick, right? But like I was
yeah,
so curious. Like I asked her, it's like, yo, how did you meet these cool people? Like this is sick. Like and
yeah.
he was like, yeah, bro, like you can just meet them through Twitter.
Dude, I literally had the exact same. I literally wrote this down in my notes earlier because like Krish had this one point in his podcast or not podcast on his vlogs where he's like I don't know what it is about like I know when I've met my people. So I was like I was curious at like how what is the process of meeting your people and like how do you know it's your people when you've met them? Like how do you know that these are the people I'm like I should and like commit to like long term and try to build relationships with them?
yeah. This is, actually I struggle with this. Like, the actual vlog piece was like out of confusion. Like at Waterloo, like I came there, I thought I found my people. Like, and for Mac, like I knew like my people were there. Like
Yeah,
as you guys,
yeah.
I went to Waterloo. I was like, oh yeah, like, I also found my people here. Like they're like interested in tech. They're doing like fun things. Like they're like not afraid to joke around. Sometimes they don't take themselves too seriously. And I went to Harvard. Harvard, like I guess was like I didn't like meet Harvard was low-key lame, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like Harvard that much. But I
Uh,
went to MIT, like again I found my people. Like these people were like, like crazy, like fanatics, like they like telling like, like wild stories, like sneaking into places. I'll tell you like so in MIT there's this tradition called hacking. But it's not like the like nerdy hacking that you're thinking about. This is like pretty much breaking and entering. Um and so like the way it works is that hacking is just pulling a series of pranks and getting like a bunch of weird stuff in weird places. And so, for example, one time someone disassembled and reassembled a police car on top of an entire like dome stadium. Like they got on top, like nobody knows how they did that.
what?
Yeah, and so like my friends from MIT, like they took me hacking, and so we went like I remember that the place that they took me hacking to actually got locked. And so I kid you not, I think like I might be like doxing myself here, but like we picked a lock. Like
Statue
this
of
guy like engineered
limitations.
a new device to pick a lock. We picked a lock.
Wow.
We climbed like multiple pipes, and the story goes that like at some point, like a couple of years ago, this guy was looking at like the floor blueprints of MIT, and he was like, "Yo, there should definitely be a room here, but it's covered by concrete." So this guy took like a jackhammer to the wall and
Oh
What?
broke
my
open like a
god.
square. Yeah, that's how the story goes. Like I don't know if it's true, but he took a jackhammer to the wall, broke the wall, and there was an actual whole room there, but it's covered in nails. So this guy put like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. It's supposed to be secret. It's fine. No one
Damn.
watches our podcast.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um,
Damn, bro. Now I'm gonna promote this on all my socials.
Yo,
I'll get
like,
this
okay,
10,000
I don't know if
views.
I'm confusing like three different stories here, but like maybe Amber will correct me. Like, Amber, you know that the clock tower like outside of IKB, which
Yeah.
is like the library in UBC, like, isn't there like a story that like there was like two cows or something that were taken up to like the top floor of that and like killed or something?
Yeah, I told you that story. So
Did you?
I
Okay, yeah,
think I
okay,
did.
I knew I heard it from somewhere.
I think I did, but I'm not sure how cap it is. But apparently, do you know what we're talking about, Chris?
no.
Do you know those iconic photos of UBC where you just see this like very thin, long tower pointing in the sky? Like it's like a
Uh,
Big Ben. It looks like Big Ben basically.
right.
Do you know what I'm
Hmm.
talking about? Do you have a
Yeah,
picture?
yeah.
Basically, it's
I'll take a
that, and
picture.
it's always in front of this old looking castle like building, and basically it when you're on the bottom, like it's like when you're like actually next to it, like it's like really big, like it looks way bigger in person. But apparently the story goes it's like they took a cow, like they somehow managed to bring a cow all the way to the top floor, and like the cow was stuck there, like they didn't know how to bring it down, so they literally had to slaughter it. Like it sounds kind of gruesome, but I looking think it's cap. Like I think that's an old like
Whoa.
wives' tale, but
Was it halal?
yeah, probably,
Yeah, it was a
bro.
lot. They said Bismillah.
Like imagine like they just like showed two like Syrian guys like on like on like just a news report like breaking news: the first halal cow like slaughtered on UBC Point Grey campus. I don't know. I don't know.
Mac
Wait,
is
how
telling
did
his
we get
sister to
here,
go
bro? Like
away.
that was so random. How did we switch here? How do we switch it from
Um,
Chris's thing?
I don't know. Oh, we're talking about hacking at MIT. Anyways, like the point is like they took me hacking and we explored a bunch of like really weird places and went through a lot of like really like sketchy like ways to get there. I can't talk about them because I think like the culture is to not. But what I'm saying is at MIT, my point is that like there's a lot of people who are there to explore. Like the purpose of a university is to explore, like find who you are, like do fun things, like do crazy things, experiment. And I think that uh, like that culture doesn't really exist at Waterloo, and so that's why I really feel like I found my people when I went to like MIT and Stanford, because like these people are just exploring and they're doing cool things while they're doing it, and like they're having fun and laughing.
Hmm.
I think like it's starting to become a thing at Waterloo, but yeah, that's why I said I found my
What
people.
would you describe the culture at Waterloo to be like in like the most simple way?
Um, I don't want to be reductionist. There are groups forming. Shout out Socratica. That I kind of going against this like they're becoming the Waterloo anti culture. But like generally, for my first year, I felt that like Waterloo is a place where like people come and they grind and they like focus on their careers. And the reason is because every 4 months, all you're thinking about is what next internship you're gonna do. And so it just becomes a rat race at some point. Like you just like are preparing for like the next internship over and over and over again. I guess like in some way like that's a way to explore. But what most people do is like they pick a track and they go down it for 5 years, and like by the fourth year they're like mentally retired because like they're like setting themselves up for like a high paying job. Like
So
it's just like it's not the university experience that I thought, and I think that's a privilege to say that, because if I had kids that if I was like growing up in like a bad socioeconomic state, I would 100% send my kids here because like that's the best way to like make sure they have great livelihoods. But I think I just wanted more like spontaneity out of university. Um, the other thing is like the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah,
Or is it probably a great
Oh,
place?
so what
You
is
guys
it
probably feel
about
so.
like Stanford or I think it's Stanford that's the main one you're talking about MIT that you think like promotes that culture of like spontaneity and like being willing to explore interests outside of your field of study.
Mm, I'm pretty like strongly think it's like the incumbents, like the very original people that like created the culture,
Hmm.
just created in a certain sense. And I think like universities like themselves do like kind of a good job of keeping it. Like they're pretty selective on who they admit, such that like it's always very ambitious and creative and exploratory people coming into the university.
Hmm.
And so that's probably why. Waterloo's also really big, right? Like Stanford, like it's crazy to me, but like Stanford campus is huge. It's way bigger than Waterloo's, but
Yeah,
Stanford like only has 8,000 undergraduates,
dude,
and Waterloo has 42,000.
Canadian universities are actually way too big. UBC has like I think 45,000 people on Vancouver campus, bro.
Yeah, it's
Like
insane.
what?
But
That's
your campus is
ridiculous.
nice too, bro.
No, no, no. The campus is beautiful. Probably like one of the best campuses in the world. The problem is like there's just too many people.
I actually
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
disagree. I actually disagree. I think universities like Stanford like under admit low key because they want to go for that like preppy like small class size like feeling because obviously like it comes with the prestige like you're paying a lot of money, but I actually think like the amount of people on like at like Waterloo or like UBC or even like U of T in general, like I feel like that's like very conducive to building like campus spirit and like because like I was telling like Muhammad this all the time, like no matter how big campus is, I swear I always run into the same people. It's so weird. Like you'll literally be walking like to like one of the buildings at UBC. It's called the Nest, and you'll just randomly see like this like one friend that you have like that you saw like 2 weeks ago. Like it's just so random like how it works.
Okay,
But
I mean,
I don't know.
I was gonna say I think that's kind of just like it's like an anecdote, but like objectively speaking, if there's more people on campus, you're less likely to run into the same people and less likely to build those connections. Like I'm saying, like your anecdotes, like I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying like if you look at it from like an objective perspective, if you have less people on campus, you're gonna meet the same people more often.
But you're thinking about it in a way like high school, because like no matter because think about it this way. Like imagine if UBC had like 10,000 people or like 8,000
Sure,
people. You
sure.
would like everyone's classes is like so far apart. Like they're all in completely separate buildings that like logically speaking, you'd still not really run into those people. Like it's not even about like the amount of people. It's not that like you're being lost in a crowd of people. It's the fact that like the campus itself is so wide and so big, and there's so many different buildings, and that's all universities, by the way. It's not just
But like
ours.
let's say for example we look at like our first year like chem courses like Chem 123 or something, right? We had like 4 or 5 different sections within just for first year like chem classes, right? If we had like a quarter of the students, we wouldn't need that many sections, and like you'd be seeing the same people every day. You know what I mean? Or on the other hand, you could have the same amount of sections, but like have smaller sections, so it becomes more of a high school classroom type vibe, and you're
Um,
able to like meet people more
I
easily.
still kind of disagree because you're in different sections, but it's the same people in your section for 5 months. So like you're gonna still see the same faces in the same classroom, even if it's like 100-person classroom. Like you're gonna see the same faces almost like 4 times a week or 3 times a week for 5 months. What do you think,
Yeah.
Ish? Like,
No, you're probably right actually.
Um, yeah, I think like it's it's a small world. Ideology will always exist, but I think small class sizes are really important. Like there's lots of studies being shown that like actually like the smaller like class sizes there are, um, the more standard deviations you are intelligent. Like, have you guys heard of Bloom's two sigma problem? Or like
No,
it's not a
no,
problem, but like the
no,
phenomenon.
no.
It's like kids that are like one-on-one tutored are two standard deviations more intelligent than kids who are not like one-on-one tutored.
of
Oh
course.
yeah.
But like,
There's
It's
it's
not
on
also
even.
average two sta
I don't even think that they're
but that
smarter. They just like perform better on tests. But that's a completely
no,
different
no, no, no,
thing.
it's that they're smarter, it's not just tests. Like, the idea is, like, a one-on-one tutor, an expert, um, in some sense, is like the is a person who can suggest perfect next stepping stones to challenge you and, for you to learn from, and it's like a big, like, goal of education is to try and like solve this Bloom's two sigma like problem where we have a growing population and we have like less teachers um like I guess physical teachers in the space. So, like how can we reduce class sizes such that we can continue to increase like humanities intelligence?
and like
It's a really
another
interesting
thing that
problem.
corroborates that, like I can't remember what the name of the study is exactly, but there was a study done a while ago where like researchers went to like a bunch of like first, second grade classrooms and like told the teachers they were taking like intelligence tests on the students, and then they told the teachers which students were gifted and which were like just regular students or like even like challenged in some ways. And the teachers ended up giving those students more time, and those students ended up performing better on tests. But like after a couple months, they told the teachers like we made it up. Like there was no gifted or like intelligent students. Like we just like chose random students and told you that they were the gifted ones, and you ended up giving them more attention, and uh, because of that, they ended up performing better on tests. Like it was just a feedback loop.
Do you also think that's like what you said is part of like
Interesting.
if like a teacher's teaching like the standard curriculum, do you think like smaller class sizes kind of like help students like break out of their shell and like are like make them less scared to like ask questions and like participate more? Do you think that's part of the reason?
Probably like if you're
Yeah,
in an environment
definitely.
where you're comfortable with everybody, you're more likely to ask questions for sure.
Because like
Like
the
for example, like would you be
yeah,
more like for you? It's like it's easier to ask a question in Simpson's classroom than it is in a lecture hall of 150 kids you don't know, right?
yeah, definitely. But like yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest problem, like honestly, and it's like such an age old problem. Like I can't believe like this hasn't changed. But like I can't like the biggest problem in my opinion is like this concept that teachers expect you to write and listen to them at the same time. I think that's such like an age old problem. Like I can't believe that hasn't changed. Like honestly. Like, think about it. Like,
Yeah,
every class you're in, all your teachers expect you to write down the material and listen to them at the exact same time. Like, they'll be like going through a math problem, right? They'll be like either they'll have their notes pre-written or they'll be writing it at the same time, and they're narrating while they're writing. So it's so hard for students, in my opinion, to do both tasks at the same time. And teachers have this disconnect, like they expect students to automatically get what they're teaching, especially in like the
that's
circumstances.
like bad teachers though. Like Greenwood did a great job at this. Like Greenwood would like she was fast, sure, but like she need to get through content. But, like she would go through stuff and then she would wait for us to write it down. Um, yeah, I think she did a good job.
Yeah,
Um,
I think professors in general like are not like I think the design of universities as research slash education institutions is flawed because of the like on the one hand it's inevitable because the people who are most qualified to teach are the researchers and the ones who are at the forefront of their fields, but at the same time they're not there to teach, they're there to research, right? So they have to end up
yeah,
teaching on the side, but like they're not they don't want to do it, or like they're not educated to do it.
Which is why the move to like learn something that you're really interested about is like to find some expert probably at your university and just make a personal connection with them.
Dude,
Like you're not gonna become like world changing in like electrical engineering if like just by taking all like the regular classes. Like you probably have to like reach out to people who have been doing it for a long time.
I was like thinking about this like earlier, like in the content of the podcast. Like, there's so many people who are like at the forefront of their like fields, like academically or like within like some sort like whatever sphere, and like they don't have people who are just coming up to them and talking to them or wanting to like learn from them. So like you could just have them on for like a podcast episode. Like imagine like you just called like yo the mayor of Fort Max, like yo, you trying to hop on a podcast for like an hour. Like like when is the last time that
Wait,
I'm dead ass, bro? Like when
wait,
was the
you guys
last
want to know
time?
something crazy?
Yeah, what?
We should call the mayor of Mac on the podcast, by the
I
way. Oh,
literally, I was thinking this, bro. Like, I remember like a while ago, I tweeted at you, like, I was like, yo, like, find a real socialist dude to talk to, like, update soon. Like, I didn't end up giving you the update, but here it is now. Like, I was just watching, there was some random, like, debate on YouTube I found. This dude has, like, 100 subscribers on YouTube, but he's, like, a PhD in, like, practicals, like, socialism or something like that from, like, some university in Mexico. And, like, this dude, like, knows, like, very well what he's talking about. He explained it to you very well, but, like, nobody's asking him these questions. Like, and I feel like he's willing to teach because of how passionate he is about his field, right?
yeah, you got to look for these people. Actually, like something crazy happened. So the original, like I solve Rubik's cubes, like sometimes. So the original time that I learned how to solve a Rubik's cube, it was off this like really janky like, YouTube series. Um, I was like it was cool. Like I finally learned, but it wasn't the best method. Probably at the time it might have been, but like it was taught by this guy named Andrej Karpathy, and I was like in grade 6. I was like 12. Okay, it turns out this guy Andrej Karpathy, like he turned out to be like the world's leading AI researcher, and like now he's like super famous, and like I look up to him because he like basically like pioneered the field of like deep neural nets.
Wow.
It's like but like at that time he was like some random dude who's like doing like Rubik's cube tutorials like not many subscribers. It's like I think YouTube talent scouting is definitely the move. Like find 100 subscribers people who are just like crazy good at explaining things, or like working on things and they're sharing their stories, but nobody's listening to them.
Dude, that's like that already exists, bro. Team 10, bro.
Oh my god. Wait, okay, okay. But the crazy thing is like when I was at Stanford, I was like hanging out with some friends and one of them knew Miriam. Like one of them was
Oh,
good friends with Miriam from Fort Mac.
Yes, bro.
that's. I mean, it's like
Which is
eight
like
thousand.
crazy
It's
to
like
me.
8,000 kids. Like, wait, 2,000 of them are first years. Like, it's like there's a very solid chance, you know?
Yeah, okay, but isn't that crazy?
But like
Like,
it's
Yeah,
the exact same
yeah.
thing. Remember,
small world.
remember, Chris, remember when I called you and I told you my friend Shiv, like he has a mutual friend with one of your friends? Like what are the odds of that? Like that's just as crazy if you think about it.
Oh yeah,
Or,
yeah,
or
true.
the
No,
other
I'm
day on
saying
on
like,
Heat's vlog when like him and his friends are just walking through IKB and they find the dude that like one of his friends is working with in like their co-op. Like what are the chances of that?
bro, it is truly, truly, truly a small world.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Um,
That's what I was saying earlier. Like it almost feels like you're in like a sitcom. Like you know in sitcoms or in like TV shows, like when the main characters they'll just be walking and like all of a sudden just randomly, oh what the heck? My best friend, bro, he's randomly ended up in Paris, bro. Like, oh what's up, bro? I
Yeah.
didn't know you were here.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's like a
just
Pokemon encounter, bro. It's like when you're like, I don't know, it's won't make sense to Amber because they never play Pokemon games. But like when you're just walking down like Route 12 and like Gary pulls up, it's like, yo, like we're having a rival battle right now, Doug.
it's a great analogy.
Dude, because it's
uh,
just like it's when you least expect it.
I'm shedding a tear, bro. Shedding a tear. I should have known Pokemon.
Yeah, Amber gets the what was
Yo,
it?
Chris, what are you doing, bro? I need to know this. You've been doing this for like the past like 5 minutes, bro.
I think he's vlogging
I'm
the
just trying to get
podcast.
like content for the vlog.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's like vlogging the
Yeah.
podcast in this
Like
episode.
ready? Let's go.
um,
For the audio listeners, we just made a bunch of like YouTube shocked faces that you make on thumbnails.
yeah, we really need to get on video though,
Yeah,
and hop
coming
on
soon.
TikTok
Coming soon.
soundbites.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like, what do you guys? How's you guys went back to Fort Mac, right?
Yes, sir.
Recently.
Yeah.
Are you're still there, Mac, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to leave yesterday, but WestJet pulls another
I
blunder
know
and
you were
canceled my
happy
flight
about that, by
again,
the
bro.
way.
Yeah, no, I was low key like fine because like I was wanting to get my flight on Sunday anyways. Like I originally had a like an event planned for tomorrow for UBC Red Cross for some club women, and but like then the event ended up being pushed for like 2 weeks later. So I was here for I could be here till Sunday. So I mean it's a good thing that flight got canceled. But I'm still kind of cheesed at Westwood.
Sorry.
No, Westwood.
Are you
Westwood.
back?
Yeah, I'm in Fort Mac right now. Like I'm not back in Van. Like I'm in Fort.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
my flight's also on Sunday. Different flights though. Unfortunately, you gotta.
One thing I also noticed is like the magic of Fort Mac does not go away. Like even after going to all these places, like I think Fort Mac is still like really hype.
Yeah, of course. It's like where you grew up, right? Like obviously it'll have that appeal to you like naturally. Like it's just like I remember like the first time I came back during our first reading week in first year, like I remember like I came back like I literally like collapsed on my bed. Like I just took like a 5 hour nap because like I didn't realize how much more comforting my own bed was, like versus like the bed I was sleeping in at university. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys had the same experience, but
Dude, for me, it's not the bed, but like literally the chair I'm sitting on right now. Like the comfort I feel, like sat here on my like computer, like on Discord with the boys, just chilling on like this chair, like it's really unmatched. Like I've never had this feeling of comfort. Like I know it's like kind of nerdy, but like just on Discord on this chair, like with this computer, like
all
there's
the times
no
I
level
played
of
League with
comfort.
the boys, bro, it's
No,
so
genuinely,
Dude, like it's not a
genuinely, bro.
it's not something to be joked about. That's where friendships are made.
no, it's
God,
true,
bro.
it's true.
You
Yo,
know, dude, I'm tired of the League of Legends slander, bro. I've had enough.
Yeah,
League
I
of
think
Legends,
Amber is salty that he didn't play it.
yeah, of
It's
course,
good,
like
bro.
he didn't get to spend enough time with us.
true. It's true. It's true. No, but
Wait, Chris, is the magic of Fort Mac just the fact that it's like your hometown, or do you think like on like a global scale, there's like a level of magic that Fort Mac has?
Dude, I've been saying for a long time. Like I think Fort Mac, like probably Westwood. I don't know if it's all of Fort Mac, but like I think Westwood is genuinely like the best school like in Canada, like
damn,
maybe like North America, maybe the
wow,
world. Like I actually
wow.
Huge.
don't. Maybe it's fallen off. Maybe it was like it was like a 5 year sprint. In the middle, like we were towards the end of it. But like, I just felt like every single person that was coming out of there was like thoughtful, kind, like people were like enjoying life, and they're also like very ambitious. Like, it's kind of crazy for a school so small in a city like so like with like an easy path to life. Like, because if you just go into oil, like things
Yeah.
there's like light work.
Mhm.
For so many people to have big dreams, it's like that's the magic. And then when I come back, like every time I'm reminded of the same thing. Like it's not, it's never as easy to find people like this anymore.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mohammed, wait, Mohammed, sorry, I'm not trying to go back, but like, did you know like Harsh? This is so funny. Harsh, like one of our friends, he literally like took his blanket from home, like, because I was thinking about this like in my head, like when you're talking about like how much you loved your chair from home. Like I was thinking like, oh, it'd be funny if Mohammed like took his chair to all the way to UC, but then
Yeah.
it reminded me like Harsh literally took his own bed coverings, like his like
Yeah, I
blanket
did
and
too.
everything. No, but like he did it for a reason. Like I'm not sure if he did it just to like save money on like buying like new ones, but like no, because Harsh
Chris, try your
literally
talking
like
to, bro.
he like loves his bed so much, like and like the comforter and everything that like he literally took it all. I don't know.
That's what I did too. I have like SpongeBob like blanket. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like I will
See,
not.
like
It's so hard to sleep without it, bro.
I think you remember like, mentioning it before, but you were like addicted to your bed. Like you would like just do everything on your bed, right?
Me? Yeah, yeah. It was actually like really bad. So, like
This
growing
guy,
up,
yeah, I need this. I need to say this. This guy Krish told me. This guy Krish told me he was addicted to the smell of his pillow, bro.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. No, dude, it's no joke. So like when I was little, my parents gave me this like pillow, like it's like little square pillow, it's like fluffy. I call it green oki, and then like I don't know like what started it, but like I would just like smell it. Okay, like I just like sleep on it, and then I'd smell it like a little bit, you know. And then it like it came to the point I never watched that shit. Okay, like two
Yo,
years in, I did not watch it once.
what?
I
Wait, are you
was burying
including
my
the
face in it to
cover?
smell it.
Wait, no, no.
Hmm?
Wait, sorry. To give
And no
context,
wonder it was green,
this is
bro.
not a normal pillow, right? Like this is not like one of those
No,
like
it's not like a bed pillow. It's like a throw pillow.
yeah, okay,
It's like one of those pillows you give kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would like bury my face in it. I was actually addicted to the smell. Like like I would take it to school sometimes because I liked it so much. Um, every day I would come home, like bury my face in my pillow, and then
Wow.
like I think that's how I got addicted to my bed. Like cause like my bed just had my pillow. And so like that happened like until I had it until like the end of grade 9. Like it wasn't like like a very young thing. Like I had this pillow that I would bury my face in until the end of grade 9, and then at one point I was like, dude, like I'm too old for this shit. Like it was hard. And I threw it out, and then like
No,
No way, you
I
should have
had
kept it, bro.
you threw it in the garbage.
but okay, to be honest, like, there was different versions. Like every like 3.5 years ish, my mom would be like, Chris, like this is disgusting. Like I'm throwing this out, and then she'd like, and then they'll like get me a new one, and then I'd like, I don't know, like
You have to like
What?
regroom my pillow.
reinvigorate the smell into it.
Chris,
Yeah,
did the smell of your pillow arouse you, bro?
bro, no, dude, it just felt comfortable. Like I don't know how to explain it.
This is Christian's
Yo,
first
bro.
night in Waterloo, bro. He pulls up to the
Yeah.
fucking like a party. He's like, but I get with the
You
chick. He's
know,
like, shit, bro, I need my pillow. I'm like, I can't get
you know
hurt.
those dreams that you guys have. Like,
All I'm saying is I feel bad for that pillow for when Chris hit puberty, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
that's
Hey,
so
yo.
gross, bro. Wait, you know those dreams? You know those dreams that you guys have that like
Chris
you go to
saw his
school with
own
a pants
pillow in
on?
his wet dreams, bro. Like he just saw.
You're
Stop,
so
stop, stop,
pro,
stop,
Amir.
stop.
It's a PG podcast.
PG,
Okay,
bro,
okay,
come
my
on,
bad, my bad.
dude. We're supposed to get the
Wait,
mayor
you
of
know,
Fort Mac on, bro. He's gonna like look at one of the episodes just to get an idea of who you are. He's gonna skip to this timestamp, just hear about fucking Amber talking about Chris humping his pillow, bro. Fucking hell.
I do not have okay. Please let it be known. This was purely like a wholesome like pillow thing that I had. Anyways, but you know those dreams you guys have like where like you go to school with the pants on? Like, do you have those dreams? Like you just show up to school in
I
your
never had
underwear?
that like
I've
specific
never had
type of dream, but like I kind of like
Really?
I had like a genre of it, but like it usually had to do with like test scores or like showing up and getting like a 20 on the Greenwich test or something like
Bro, you're such a nerd.
that. Don't lie, you had the same dream, bro. You don't even lie. You definitely did.
I've never had a dream.
Hammersley told me he had that dream, bro. Hammersley told me he had that dream, bro.
No, I didn't. No, wait,
You
wait.
lead, you literally told me that you would have
Your
nightmares
parents
about
told
Greenwood, bro.
This
hold
guy
on.
Muhammad's nightmares.
You're saying
What about getting 20 on Greenwood's test?
No,
you're saying you had your pants on when you received the test scores like,
no,
oh, I
no,
got a 90.
no, what? No, no. I just mean like the dread or like the embarrassment. But like it was like around like test season or like final season, like I would like have a dream that like I like slept in for like my PATs or like I just like showed up and like
Yeah.
all C's or some shit on my like my exams and like got 20% or something.
I have a dream like
That's
where
really
Greenwood's
funny.
holding this massive pencil. Like it's this massive pencil. And it's like, put your pencil down. It's like the pencil starts like falling on
Deadass.
top of me. No,
Is
I'm
this
just
a
kidding.
reoccurring dream? Dude, that'd be
No, I
fucking
just made that up.
hilarious.
I
That
just
would be
made that
so
up.
funny, actually.
I just made that up.
Wait, Muhammad, have you like been into lucid dreaming recently? Like, are you keeping up with
Dude,
your dream journal?
dude, I'm mad at myself for not doing it because I need to start again, but like, no, I haven't.
I met like a researcher,
Hmm.
um, and like she was making this app to help you lucid dream.
Damn.
It's only available on Android, but like I had an Android phone on me.
Uh-huh.
And like the idea is like lucid dreaming is all about like having some sort of stimulus at the start, and then you feeling lucid and aware,
Hmm.
but you still being in the dream. And so this app is supposed to be like it's like you do like a 20-minute meditation where like it goes through the steps of like what would happen in your dream to realize that like you're lucid.
Yeah.
And then I did it and like it did not work. Like supposedly it's like research backed, but it didn't work at
No, but
all.
like
But I
I
think
think it's like a whole process. Like I think it's like keep trying and eventually you'll be like you'll get a lucid event.
I've had 3 in my life and one ended in sleep paralysis.
Rip. I've
Um
actually never had a sleep paralysis, but like I have this thing. Like I don't know if I should get this checked, but like sometimes I'll just like be like so like there's like this night like this like morning prayer, so like I'll get up for that and like I'll go back to sleep and like suddenly like I just won't be able to breathe for like 5 seconds, or like
Whoa.
it'll feel like I can't breathe, and then like I'll like gasp for breath and like I'll come back to like life. Like I don't know if that's
That's
sleep
like in
paralysis
the
or what.
dream. That's like in
No,
the
no,
dream.
no, no. Like it's like in the real life. Like I realize that I'm awake and like I'll just be laid there on my bed, like on my like stomach, and like I just won't be able to breathe for like 5 seconds. And it's like,
That's like
like I'll breathe
concerning.
again.
That's a little bit
I don't
concerning.
know.
I would get
Yeah,
that
look,
checked
I
out.
should probably get that shit checked
yeah.
out.
um but my hypothesis is that if the narrator of this meditation exercise is yourself, I think it could be like game changing.
Yo,
Because the
that would
point
be
is
sick, actually.
for your internal consciousness to like kind of decide that oh you're in a dream, like wake up, not wake up, like but like become lucid. And so like the most comfortable voice and the voice you probably listen to the most is your own.
I think
Uh,
there's two
So
problems with that, though. Like from what I hear, like because one, like I don't know if I'd be able to recognize my own voice, like while I'm dreaming. Like I feel
But
like my
it's your subconscious.
I feel like my
The
brain.
other option is someone else's
No,
voice.
but I feel like my brain like would hear my own voice and it would automatically just create some new character. Like I don't know if this happens with you guys, but
Hmm.
like when I'm dreaming, like I have like the classic Apple alarm like dun 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 dun, and I'll hear that and it's like I'll just start imagining some person like blowing on a whistle or something. Like it'll be like the
Yeah.
sound starts to incorporate into my dreams, but then like it starts to get annoying. Like the person in the dream keeps blowing on the whistle. I'm like, yo, stop. And then I wake up and realize it's my alarm. Like, but yeah.
Well, that's the point, right? Like that's why you have these sounds. Like that's why this app works the way it does, because like it has these sounds, and like you hear those sounds in your dream itself, and then you're supposed to become lucid.
Yeah.
Like from my research when I first was getting into it, one of like the most like proven methods is it's a quite a long process, but basically like over the next week, every time you walk through a door, count how many fingers you have on like your right hand. Okay, so the idea
Yeah,
is like next time in your dream when you're walking through a door, you're gonna like look at your hand, like how many fingers you have, and like usually in those dream states, you don't have those details worked out, so you'll have like 4 fingers, like 6 fingers, and you'll realize like, oh shit, like I'm in a dream right now, and like you'll become lucid at that point. And apparently that's like very effective.
interesting. Yeah, the one that I looked at was like every like whenever like you like think about it, like look at your hand, like look at how like detailed like each of the lines are, like because this won't occur in the dream,
Yeah.
and then like try and take your other hand and put your hand through it like this, like it looks kind of sped, but like you'll just be like chilling, you just like do this
Yeah.
over and over,
Yeah.
but like supposedly you'll do it in your dream, but there's other cool tech too, like there's like lucid dreaming sleep masks that I really want to try, where like there's like a laser on the sleep mask or like some light. It's like a red light, and so the idea is like in your dream, when you see like basically a red sun, like you'll know that like
Mm.
that's the light from the sleep mask, and you'll become lucid. And so I really want to try that. I think like a sleep mask with um like like headphones and like this light and some other things, probably some neurostimulation could be like really hype.
How effective are those masks?
I don't know. I'll probably try it soon.
I'm gonna be honest
There's also
though.
another like method. Sorry, go ahead, Amber.
No, sorry. Like, I was just gonna say, like, I kind of don't get the obsession with lucid dreaming. Like, why do people want it
What?
so
It's so
badly?
sick though.
Okay,
But
let me.
like I've always heard this thing. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think I've properly ever lucid dreamed. But like, I've always heard people that like know how to lucid dream say that like they always say that like you'll realize you're in the dream, but like if you do something that's way too crazy, then you'll just automatically get up. Like, how truthful is that?
Yeah,
There's like a
yeah.
level of like
You
you
have
have
to
to
like
like train
maintain
your
your.
body to not get up.
Yeah. But okay, wait. Let me like put you on board. In lucid dreaming, like, okay, do you like understand the value of the metaverse?
No.
Okay, okay,
I was about to
we'll
leave a
put you
quote,
on
but you
that
said
too.
metaverse.
um, the idea is that in your dream, in this like lucid dreaming state, you're able to create and do anything. Right? It's like a time for your creativity to go wild, and you're not bound by the laws of the world,
Yeah.
both like physical and like political. And so that's one thing immediately. Like if you wanted to do something, like lucid dreaming is your best bet to try and do it. Okay. And the other thing is in dreams, like 7 minutes, like 7 minutes in real life is 1 hour in a dream. And if you're able to like predictably lucid dream, um, then you can do all your non-tangible tasks. Like if you ever wanted to think about something and just wanted time to think about something, like you can do all those tasks in your dream, and then you can take like real life and just focus on like the actual tangible work you have to do. And so like you're effectively increasing your lifespan by so much just by like having one lucid dream per night. You're adding 1 hour per day to your life,
But how
which
mentally
is also
clear are you? Like you start to realize you're in a dream, but like is it literally like as if you're living in real life? Like does it feel like that?
Like
um
so from
no, it
my
doesn't,
research,
to be
like
fair.
when I initially did it, like in the beginning it won't be. In the beginning, like it'll basically be like you'll be a passenger in your own dream, but you'll realize that like you're awake. And like it'll be like a bit more like experiential and real. And over time, you can get to a point where like on command you can conjure up whatever you want. So like I've heard like people who can get to a point where like they have genuine difficulty like distinguishing between reality and when they're dreaming. So like they said like I really had to like I've read on Reddit before people say like I had to stop lucid dreaming because I genuinely like would like not know when I've actually woken up because
That
my
sounds
my
like
dreams were so real.
Inception. That sounds like
No,
insane.
no,
Yeah, it
like
does. It's
it's
like
actually
inception.
extremely powerful, and like maybe not everybody has like the ability to like get to that level of like lucid dreaming, but I think most people have the level or the ability to get to a point where they can like conjure up things and like basically like get like close enough to where to it's worth like learning it the skill.
I think that's kind of cap though, low key. Like those people like that claim that
Yeah,
they can't
maybe.
distinguish between reality and a dream because like let's be
Uh-huh.
honest, like you don't feel pain that much. Like there's no, I doubt like you'd be able to feel pain in a dream, and I doubt you'd be able to have like heightened sense of touch and smell.
No,
Like
I had
Wait, what?
the last time I did it, I had like one lucid dream, right? And like specifically, what happened was like I was in a massive like green field, and like there's some two like white dudes, like I don't like they're just characters or randomly, I don't know them, right? And they were playing football for some reason. Like I distinctly remember reaching down and touching the grass and like feeling like like wet grass with the dew on my hand, and like feeling like the blades of grass like as like they brushed up against my like fingers. And, like it felt so real in the moment, and I literally woke up and I was like, "Yo, was that a memory or a dream?" Like, and like for the first like 10 minutes after, like it felt very, very real.
really,
Yeah,
wow.
and like that was like my first lucid dream like ever after like actively trying to get one.
But you realized you were in the dream at the time.
Like it was kind of weird. Like I kind of knew, but I kind of didn't at the start. It was like somewhere in between like a dream and a lucid dream. It wasn't like full, like complete awareness of it being a dream, but at the same time, I knew that it wasn't like a regular dream. Like I felt like I was controlling it. Like I felt like I myself reached down for the ball and like you know what I mean?
That's what a lot of my dreams are like. Actually, I feel like I'm in control of most of my dreams.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
So you might be just, but like, do you remember all your
I
dreams? I
remember a
think like
lot of my.
the other key is like you need to remember all your dreams. Like that's actually the harder
Yeah,
part
but I
because
think
most
dream
dreams are
journaling, like,
forgettable.
it's actually exponential how much better you
It's
start remembering them.
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
I like get up and I'll remember like three dreams I had, like just off the bat. Like
Wow.
But do you forget them over time?
I
It's like I
forget
think
them.
after an hour after you wake up.
I do forget them over time.
Yeah.
I forgot them like 10 minutes after, to be honest.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I really want to try and get a lucid dream. The other thing, yeah, I was saying like, um. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah. Anyways, like hop on lucid dreaming. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say like every time I lucid dream, like I don't know why, but, like my brain's like, oh shit, I'm lucid dreaming. Like I can do anything. What should I do? And every single time, without a fail, I always like put myself in um like a cotton candy cloud. Where I'm just like running around like there's like trees made of like giant lollipops
Guys,
and
I don't
stuff. Like I kid you not.
know.
Definitely gutted, bro.
What?
I love it. I love that. I love that, bro. That's so sick.
Yeah, that's sick. Alright.
Yeah, but like if you guys have seen like I think a similar scene was like Cloudy and a Chance of Meatballs, and so I think that's where I like visualized it. Um,
Oh,
and like I just like always put myself in there. And then one time I was like playing basketball with everyone. Yeah, it's like really cool. I really enjoy the
you know what
experience.
you guys should try next time you're lucid dreaming? You should try conjuring your own friends in your dream. Like
Conjuring,
when you real
yeah,
Honestly,
like
like
when you
a lot
realize
of you
you're
guys are like present in a lot of my dreams. Like,
no,
yeah,
but like
same.
when you're lucid dreaming, like you should like let's say like let's say for example like you're lucid dreaming Muhammad and like you want to like have a conversation like with Krish for example. Like you should and if he's not in your dream already, you should literally try to see if you can like put him in the dream and start talking to him. See what happens.
Dude, like, but here's the inception part. Okay, like imagine Mac had good conversations with me, right? Um, inside his dream, and like he had good conversations with me outside of his dream. Like, which Krish would he value more? Would he think that me, like in this real present world, is just a reflection of like what he's thinking at that time because like he's been proven that can happen in his dreams? Like basically, like I feel like once you start like mastering lucid dreaming, you're just like diving into simulation theory, and you just think everything is simulation at some point.
No, but when you dream, like the like the way you see your friends in your dream is like the way you perceive them in real life too. Like it's not like different.
I guess
I don't think it's wildly
in a way, like, but like at the same time, like if there's something about your friends that, like you might subconsciously not like you might subconsciously dislike, your brain might just like make that different in your like dream verse.
like
I wanna try psychedelics for this reason too. I feel like they probably provide clarity as well, similar to lucid dreaming.
Yeah, low key, if I could try any drug like just once, it'd definitely be like DMT.
this guy's so
But
crazy,
do
bro. We were talking about this, Chris. This guy was like, yeah, like Amber, because we don't like smoke, obviously. Like he was like, yo, like if you could, or like just do drugs in general. He's like, yo, if like if you could try any drug, I was like, oh, I'd probably try weed or something, right? He's like, what? That's so lame. I'll really try acid, bro. Like he said he'd try acid. Like that's insane. To me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that makes sense. Bro, like I've heard insane stories. Like the coolest story I've heard is that And I guess this might be a myth, but the original computer architects, like when they're designing these chips, right? Like they're so advanced and there's so much going on that people didn't have enough mind space to like design them. And so like at these IBM offices, these original computer architects would all like trip on shrooms, and each one would get their own whiteboard and draw out like entire computer architecture. And as they started to become more and more lucid, like um they would like start like designing the actual like computer architecture, and it would work. Like people like the theory is that psychedelics are the reason that we have the modern technology we do today. And if that's the case, like why not try? Like why not experience that, you know?
Dude, honestly, they can be kind of scary in a way as well. Like there was this one comedian, his name is Ari Shafir. And like he took this a drug on a podcast once. It was some sort of psychedelic. I can't remember which one it was specifically, but he lived like 25 years in another life in 1 hour, and then came back into the real world, and like he had like trauma for like the next like 2 3 weeks, like recovering and like grieving his family that he had lost in the 1 hour of 25 years life that he lived in the 1 hour. Like that's how powerful they are. Does that make sense? Like what I just said?
That's to say, but like, isn't it worth?
I mean, like
Like, I would trade 25 years for 3 weeks any
no, but
day.
the thing is, like it's scary because
Yeah,
like
it's
your brain
amazing.
cannot distinguish reality from like what's happening in that like drug induced like reality, right? So like you
But
think
like,
that you
what is reality? But like, what you think like what you think it is.
well,
I
I guess
think
there's like a material reality that we can measure. You can never measure like your internal like neural reality, right?
I think
Mm.
Muhammad like once told me this. I don't know if you told me or if I just saw it online. Like I heard this like one story about a guy that literally like I think he was like on a drug. He was either in a coma or on a drug, but like he
Hmm.
basically like had like lived an entire life like while
Yeah,
he was like
yeah,
oh
that's
like
what I just said.
really- is that what you told me? No, but like
Yeah.
but he had kids and everything too. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was just talking about. I think I explained it poorly, but like, yeah,
Oh, oh,
he
that
took a
guy.
drug. He like in the real world, he was only like he was only high for an hour, but in his mind, he had lived an entire like life of like 25, 30 years with a wife and kids and the house and like everything. He had lived
That's
an entire life,
crazy.
and then he came back and like he was like really traumatized for like weeks afterward.
That's wild, bro. That's
Yeah,
wild. Like imagine you guys getting up right now and like all of a sudden like you're a completely different person or something or like you're the same person but like all the people like all these people that you see in front of you right now like they were just like figments of your imagination. That'd be
yeah.
insane. That'd be insane. Chris, you
Ah,
know
there's
what? Chris, did you know Regular Show? Like it's my favorite cartoon of all time. Like Regular Show,
I know of it, but I never watched it.
like you know the characters, right? Like the bird, that tall blue bird and whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. Did you know like the creator of the show, JG Quintel, he actually he created a skit of the same characters in a convenience store when he was in college because he took like fine arts to like study how to create cartoons and like those characters they were originally humans and they took like acid while they were working at a convenience store because the whole premise of the show is that they're these lazy workers that hate working but they love having fun, so they took acid while they were working at a convenience store, these two random guys. Then all of a sudden, their faces change and they turn into these animal caricatures. And
Oh,
yeah,
what the
it
heck?
was so crazy. And because like if you watch Regular Show, like it's a mixture of humans and like animals and like humans and animals interact like completely normally. So like it's kind of weird, but like a lot of like theorists like to say that like he like chose to like have that be the dark underlying theme of Regular Show, that these characters are on acid like this entire time. That's why like all like their best friends and all their family members are animals, but like all like the normal NPC humans around them are just humans. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
I actually love these stories of like you know like backstories behind like really common like TV shows. Like I remember hearing some like crazy backstories about SpongeBob as well at some point. Or I don't know. I remember like Naruto having like some crazy ones too. Um, yeah, I can't think of them right now.
what's it called? Gravity Falls. It wasn't
Oh
theories.
yeah, sorry, yeah, Gravity Falls is that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Gravity Falls had like really cool like within the show like clues and stuff that were given to like the part that was really sick.
Do you remember
Yeah,
Mohammed?
Gravity
Do you
Falls.
remember at the very end of the Gravity Falls episodes, they would always like put some random chain of letters and
Yeah,
like numbers, and like I would literally like have my phone, or like, sorry, like my iPad or something ready, and I would take a
Mm.
picture of the end scene real quick, because you could always like decipher those and like come up with what they're saying, and like it would always be like crazy messages like Bill Cipher is watching or something like that. It always be
Dude, it's insane. It's like by far the best like animated TV show I've ever seen. And people think Avatar: The Last Airbender is good. Nah, you haven't watched Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I think
Um,
as a coherent story, I'll give it to Avatar. In terms of like
really?
because I mean,
yeah,
just
I
because like Gravity Falls, like it's not a continuous like story. There's episodes that are just like SpongeBob type, where it's like stuff will just happen and they won't really affect the story like on a like a like local time scale type thing. Um, but yeah,
Now, I used to watch this podcast of this guy like deciphering every single thing. Like it wasn't just those end scenes, Amber. Like at the start, they would like put words in reverse
yes,
and like
yes, I saw those.
yeah, so and then like yeah, and then Max are like like the shows and like inside of the actual content, like they would put random clues everywhere, and people would have to find them.
Do you
And did you see
remember?
like
Do you remember that one time traveler? I'm not sure if you remember this. There was this one bald
yeah,
time traveler, and like there was this one.
he's everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
and
He
he
just
was
like pulls up
everywhere. Like
everywhere.
he was in every
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, dude, it's insane. Wait, do you guys know like the creative Gravity Falls made in like in person, like in real life, like scavenger hunt with clues to find like a Gravity Falls statue?
damn, that's
So like this guy was like a creative mastermind. Like no heist, like Money Heist did not even have as much like thinking about like the show and the plot and the entire story, including like the people in real life as this.
the most fun I've ever had. What? Sorry,
No,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say the most fun I've ever had watching TV shows is like when I'm an active participant in finding out the plot. Like for example, like early days Flash, when like trying to figure out who Reverse
Yeah.
Flash was, who Zoom was, who Saboteur was, like that. Like that's so fun to just sit there and like theorize about it.
Agreed, yeah. No, I was gonna say I was such a nerd with Gravity Falls. Like I remember in elementary school, like I think if you asked Zach or something, they might have remembered me doing this. But I would go like I'd go on Google Images. I would search old yellow paper, and I would like take an image and expand it all the way to the size of a Word document and just print like 10 pages of those. And I would take like this black like pen, like this old pen that my dad had, and I would literally pretend like I was like the author of the journal, and it's crazy. Like I
Whoa.
literally went to my basement and like put red paint on the end of a toothbrush, or sorry, not a toothbrush, like a paintbrush, and I started like splattering like dots of red on some of the pages. Like, cause there was this one page I remember in this series where like the author's like one of his fingers got cut off or something, and there was blood, and it was on the Bill Cipher page, I think. So, and I literally like I was so upset.
Oh yeah,
I thought it
it's
was
it's
sick.
the sixth finger. No, it's the
It's
sixth
a
finger
big
that this
thing.
guy's brother had.
Exactly. Yeah.
That he cut off or something. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Like that was like what was so sick to me. Like I don't know, I was so like obsessed with the show at the time. Like I literally was trying to create my own journal thing, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's so sick.
it's insane. Okay, we have doubled our usual time frame. We usually go for 30-minute episodes, but we had a great time talking today. Thank you everyone for seeing the drawing board, for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and to our special guest Amir for appearing. Yeah. Any final words, boys?
Kids laughing at their grunkle. I'm grunkle style.